We tell ourselves that democracy is under threat, that the rise of fascism in America is a Republican problem, that the billionaire class and corporate overlords are solely the creation of the right. But that's a lie told to keep you complacent, to keep you hoping that the Democratic Party will save you from the very system it helped build. The oligarchy didn't just take over in a vacuum. It was allowed to take over. And the Democratic Party, under the banner of pragmatism and moderation, has been complicit in that betrayal since the 1990s. And now, because of that betrayal, Trump is back in the White House. The Republicans have taken Congress. They are already dismantling what little remains of democracy, and the Democrats are standing there wringing their hands, wondering how this could have happened. It happened because they let it happen. Neoliberalism led us here. And if Democrats don't abandon it now, they will go down with the system they helped build. The 1990s were the breaking point. After a decade of conservative domination through Reaganomics, Bill Clinton's Democratic Party had a choice. Stand with labor, the poor, and marginalized communities, or pivot to corporate donors and Wall Street in the name of electability. They chose the latter. Under the banner of the Third Way, Clinton embraced policies that would have made Reagan proud. He gutted welfare, slashed regulation on big business, and paved the way for mass incarceration with the 1994 crime bill. He repealed Glass-Steagall, giving Wall Street free rein to gamble with the economy, leading directly to the financial collapse of 2008. And he embraced NAFTA, shipping jobs overseas and gutting the American working class. This wasn't a betrayal of conservatism. It was a betrayal of the left. The Democrats decided that instead of fighting corporate power, they would integrate with it. They became the kinder, gentler face of the oligarchy. But neoliberalism didn't just weaken the Democratic Party. It set the stage for the fascist movement that has now taken control of America. Here's how it works. Neoliberalism tells working people that their suffering is inevitable, that jobs being outsourced, wages stagnating, healthcare becoming unaffordable, these things aren't political choices, they're just the way the world works. And when people are told that both parties support this system, that no one is coming to help them, they start looking for somebody who will. And that's where the fascists come in. Trump didn't win in 2016 because of some deep love for conservative ideology. He won because millions of Americans were abandoned by neoliberal Democrats. And he fraudulently pretended to speak to their anger. He blamed immigrants. He blamed China. He blamed trans kids. He blamed everyone except the billionaire class. And it worked. Because people were desperate. Because the so-called opposition party had given up on opposition. And now, history has repeated itself. The Democrats learned nothing. Trump is back in power. The far right is consolidating control. And the Democratic Party? Still making excuses. Biden said, an oligarchy is taking shape in America. But under his administration, the oligarchs saw their wealth increase by 88%. You don't get to warn about oligarchy while serving it. The same forces that led to the financial collapse of 2008, the unchecked power of Wall Street, the monopolization of industry, and the gutting of unions were all still at play under Biden. And the result? Total failure. The Republicans took full control of government again, and they're already making sure that the next Democratic resurgence never happens. The difference between Democrats and Republicans isn't about who serves the oligarchy. It's about how they serve it. Republicans use brute force. Democrats use soothing words. But the result is the same. This is where the Enlightenment's core ideals come in. Liberty, reason, justice. The Enlightenment taught us to question power, to reject hereditary rule, to build societies based on fairness and rational governance. But what we have now is the opposite. An economy ruled by billionaire dynasties, a political system where wealth dictates policy, a government that exists to protect capital, not people. This isn't democracy. It's feudalism in a different outfit. And the Enlightenment taught us exactly what to do with feudalism. So where do we go from here? The Democratic Party has a choice. Continue down this road of corporate-friendly, donor-approved governance, or return to the fight for economic justice. If Democrats want to win, they need to stop being afraid of their own shadow. They need to break ties with Wall Street, support real labor movements, and take a stand against corporate monopolies. They need to tax the billionaire class out of existence. They need to guarantee healthcare, housing, and education as human rights. And if they refuse, if they keep trying to balance between the people and the oligarchs, they will die as a party. Because no one is inspired by cowardice. And if they continue to offer nothing but lip service while America burns, people will turn elsewhere. And history shows us what happens when economic despair meets a power vacuum. The neoliberal era is ending, one way or another. The only question is, will we replace it with a system that serves the people, or will we let the billionaire class drive us further into fascism? This is the moment to decide. The Democrats have one last chance to prove they are more than just a different shade of oligarchy. And if they don't, they'll go down with the system they helped build.